favorite type of ice cream? That's what I want to know. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Peter Glidden. 866-582-9933. Give me a shout, 866-582-9933. Give longevity a try or suffer and die. Let's go to Chris in Michigan and see what's cracking. Hey, Chris, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Oh, hi, Dr. Glidden. How are you?
I am great, but I'll get better. Are you hanging out with Dr. Oz? What's going on, man?
Yeah, okay, so my cousin was on the Dr. Oz show today.
Oh, my God.
And, yeah, right. So, first of all, she lied to even be on the segment where she talked about her illness. Okay? And then once she did that, this other person was like, oh, wait, I can't take your quote-unquote natural remedy because I'm allergic to pumpkin. So they flip-flopped her with this other girl, and then they had this, what's behind the door or natural remedy cure thing. And it's after listening to you and Dr. Wallach and all the good stuff you guys are bringing to the table, this disgusts me to listen to this and see this stuff go on. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Well, let's talk about it. And I appreciate the support. I appreciate the heads up. And this is the way that the MDs maintain their power base. And this is the reason that the pharmaceutical industry maintains its power base. This stuff doesn't just happen by accident. This stuff happens with intention. And their intention is not to disseminate information that's life-saving. Their intention is to promote and prop up the pharmaceutical industry and the MDs. So, like they did with Wallach at Yerkes Primate Research Center, he completely shatters the glass ceiling. He breaks the mold. He has a medical breakthrough, and they fire him because they're not interested in coming up with a cure. They're not interested in promoting that. But the unassuming public, the unassuming person in the public domain thinks that the MDs have their best interests at heart. And that's how they maintain their position on top. They don't let anybody else play the game. They stack the deck completely in their favor. And then when they come up against legitimate alternatives that actually work, they make the person who's coming up with them look like an idiot. It's unbelievable. There was years ago, I was in New England, and I went to a seminar. There was a guy, his name was Irwin Schiff. And Irwin Schiff, he has the only book that's been banned by the federal government in modern day. It was a book called The Federal Mafia, and it was an expose, a line-item expose about the income tax and why the income tax is the way that it is, what the law actually says about the income tax, and this, that, and the other thing. And it was an awesome book from a layman's perspective. It was really great. He was giving a seminar about his book and about the income tax law, and I went to it, and I sat through the whole thing. I was there from start to finish. It was like 2.5 hours long. I'm dating myself. This was a long time ago. And CBS Evening News or I think it was either ABC or CBS. It was a big news station out of Boston was there filming the event because this guy had a lot of traction at the time. He's now in prison. They threw him in prison for, talking against the income tax, for telling the truth, basically. But I witnessed the entire lecture from start to finish. I saw the TV crews get there. I saw them set up. I saw them record the segment. And then a week later, when it aired on national TV, they had edited segments of what he said and stitched them together in such a way that he looked like an idiot. It was an unbelievable piece of jingoistic journalism. I couldn't believe it. It took me like a week to actually wrap my head around the notion that they actually did that, number one. They edited the stuff and stitched it together in such a way to make him look like a fruitcake, and it was unbelievable. unbelievable to me how very on purpose misleading it was. And that's what happens with Dr. Oz. That's what happens with Network. I mean, it's the same in Time Magazine, in all the newspapers around the United States. If you want to know where their affiliations lie, all you have to do is just wait and listen for the commercials, or just page through the magazine, page through Time Magazine, and see who has the biggest ads there. It's the drug companies, every single solitary time. And if you follow the money, well, you know, that's where the rubber hits the road, and it all becomes glaringly obvious. So what are we going to do, man? What are we going to do?
I think you guys have the right thing. The only way you can do it is one-on-one, just talk to people heart to heart and just explain to them, because the power of the media out there and what these people see and what people see who don't know what they don't know, as you say, you know, it's overwhelming. I mean, people look at you cockeyed and go, what are you talking about? This doesn't make sense. His solution for sleeping disorder was to mix ground up pumpkin with the milk, with more milk. Well, you know, and when I learned from you, I'm like, well, that's the calcium in the milk that's going to help the sleep. And people have a sleeping problem.
Yeah, that's right. If there's any calcium in the milk, right? Now, the other thing, that's an interesting thing to think about, because there is a biochemical, well, most drugs, I mean, not all drugs, but the vast majority of drugs, pharmaceutical drugs, started in the plant kingdom, right? People noticed that this particular herb did this particular thing when you ate too much of it, or when you drank too much of it, or when you had just a little bit of it. And then the chemical industry came along, and they look at the stuff, they analyze the chemical constituents of the herb, and they extract what they believe are the active ingredients out of the herb, and they synthesize them, and voila, you've got a drug. So it's interesting to me when pharmaceutical people and MDs poo-poo natural, quote-unquote, remedies when most of their pharmaceuticals came from natural sources. I mean, it's unbelievably hypocritical before the fact. But the other thing is that there are certain sedative properties in things like pumpkin seeds, right? So, but sedating somebody into sleep is quite a bit different than supporting and promoting the body's natural sleep and waking cycle. We don't sedate people. The MDs do. We think sedation is nonsense, and it misses the point entirely. But, you know, people never talk about that. I'd like to see Dr. Oz have me on his show. But, you know, it's not... Is the Dr. Oz show live, or is it taped?
It's taped.
It's taped,
it was a few weeks ago, I guess, she was on it, and then it was just broadcast today.
Yeah, so if they had me on the show and they actually gave me, let me just talk to him and say things that I talk about all the time, they would edit it out. They would stitch it together in a way that made me look like a quack, and then they'd put that on TV, and they'd make me sign a piece of paper beforehand that said, you have to let us edit this, or you're not going to do it. And it's nonsense, man.
Yeah. It's like the Homer Simpson episode where he takes the gummy bear off the babysitter's butt and they edit it together.
Yeah, it's a good one, man. So, but look, in this, I appreciate the thought, Chris, and I appreciate the support. And we just have to keep our eyes on the prize. Not everybody jumped on the ark, and everybody had the option. There's only a handful of people that did it. Not everybody's going to listen to you, but that's okay. You just move on until you find somebody who will. And that's how we do it here in Longevity Nation, one open mind at a time. Keep up the good work. So, folks, I mean, there is money in the world, and there is a marketplace in the world, and in a perfect world, there would be a free medical market. But we don't have a free medical market. And because we don't have a free medical market, our information about what works and what doesn't work is jaded and filtered. It's lopsided and it's prejudiced. But because it's been jaded and filtered and lopsided and prejudiced for over 100 years, the average consumer thinks that that's just the way that it is. The average consumer actually believes that there is such a thing as alternative medicine. There is not. That's like saying there are alternative dogs. The only real dog is a German Shepherd, and every other dog is an alternative dog. Well, that's nonsense, right? Right. But that's what you've been told about medicine. The only real medicine is MD medicine. every other type of medicine is alternative to MD medicine. Well, no, it's not. The MDs don't own the fabric of medicine. The MDs don't own the church of medicine. The MDs are only trained in one tiny piece of the pie of medical science. They don't own medicine. Nobody does, for goodness sake. You know, if you have a bleeding artery, you shouldn't go to me. Go to an MD because that's their domain. You have a chronic illness, you shouldn't go to the MD. Come to me because that's my domain. That's the domain of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition and holistic therapeutics. And the only people who call what I do alternative are the MDs, my competition. I'm not alternative. I don't practice alternative medicine. I practice naturopathic medicine. I practice homeopathic medicine. I use science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. If you want to call that alternative, go right ahead, but you're missing the point entirely. When you call it alternative, it presupposes the notion that there is something superior to it, something better, something, not alternative, right? It's got to be alternative to something. Well, it's not. It's just a different way. We haven't been given the stage. We haven't been given the microphone. We haven't been given the same access to you, because the pharmaceutical industry is trembling in their boots at our very existence. Because they know if by some genie in the bottle magic you were to wake up tomorrow and there were just as many naturopathic doctors as there were MDs, if there were just as many naturopathic and homeopathic and Ayurvedic hospitals all around their world as there are MD hospitals, if they gave just as much research dollars to the naturopaths and the homeopaths and the Ayurvedics and the traditional Chinese medical doctors and the acupuncturists and the herbalists as they do to the MDs, if everything was in fact a level playing field, within 5 years the MDs would be out of business except the surgeons. And they know this, which is why they keep me and my colleagues out of the game. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. 866-582-9933. Get your health back with longevity, with science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. You do not know what you're missing. Stick around. Going to talk to Jenny in Texas when we're back. 866-582-9933. If you're listening to the podcast, 855-347-3696, 855-347-3696. Remember, the Longevity Company represents a network of independent distributors all around the country. Independent distributors all around the country. So if you came to this radio program directed by a longevity distributor, if you went to a longevity lecture, if someone in your family or someone in your church or some just bozo on the bus gave you a CD and their phone number, you call the radio show, you listen to the CDs, and you like the information and you want to give the stuff a try, either the products and or the business opportunity, then get in touch with the distributor who hooked you up, because they get credit for it. And that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Because we are building a grassroots coalition of the informed, an army of sorts, a non-militant medical army of knowledge. People spreading our message of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition for the masses. And guess what? Armies need to be paid. Ever know an army that didn't need to be paid? Well, our army needs to be paid, and we'd love to do it. We'd love to do it. Wouldn't you? I mean, how good is that, man? Yeah, someone's actually going to pay you to help your neighbor recover their health. What's up with that? Is GNC going to do that? No. We're going to do that. So that's why it's important that you get in touch with whomever it was that pointed you in our direction. If finally the lights have gone on in your brain and you want to give the stuff a try. If you go online and try to buy the stuff through longevity.com or through a web search, you're going to get charged the full retail price, number one. And number two, the distributor who brought you into the light is not going to get credit for it. So let them get credit for it. Let's support each other as we're moving down the road of life into the bright future of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. Let's go to Texas. and see what's up with Jenny. Hey, Jenny, thanks for calling. You are live.
Hey, hi, Doctor.
How are you, Jenny?
I'm good, thank you.
How do you like Texas?
Oh, very good. The weather is awesome right now. It's not like most of the other states.
Yeah, where are you from originally?
I'm from Nigeria originally.
Nigeria, wow. Is it about the same temperature in Texas right now as it is in Nigeria?
Yeah, about. Just about right now.
All right. Hey, listen, Jenny, thanks for calling. How can I help?
Yes, I was diagnosed with diabetes way back in 2001. And then shortly after that, I was diagnosed with hypertension. And it's been like that since then. I'm on insulin and also on glucoside and a mild dose of Novas. And about now, the doctor is planning to put me on Lipitor.
Yeah.
Which, I have not agreed to take. So that's the point I am right now. And that's my own portion. I also have another question for my mom.
All right. Well, let's take care of you first because I've only have 2 minutes in this segment. And if you like, you can hang on and we'll pick it up in the next segment. But from our point of view, nobody should be, well, I can't say nobody. The vast majority of people do not need to be on a cholesterol-lowering medication because the MDs have gotten it wrong. The MDs are not paying attention to what the research says. The MDs are doing research that's lopsided, has a built-in bias, and they're just not paying attention to any published research about cholesterol that runs contrary to their stupid point of view. If you're a postmenopausal woman, the research clearly shows that total cholesterol is over 300 is best for you. Do not listen to your MD's advice about cholesterol because they do not know what they're talking about. I advise in states where I can prescribe cholesterol-lowering drugs, 99.9% of the patients that come to me for treatment are off of their cholesterol-lowering meds. So, if I were you, I wouldn't take the stuff, but I can't tell you to do that legally because I'm not licensed in Texas, number one. Number two, high blood pressure, most of the time, has its roots in mineral deficiency, especially calcium and magnesium. Type 2 diabetes has its roots in multiple mineral deficiencies. So a really good plan for you, Jenny, would be to give your body the raw materials that it needs to have healthy blood sugar and healthy blood pressure. And that solution to support and promote your blood pressure and blood sugar is 1 healthy blood sugar pack and 2 bottles of selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month and 1 extra bottle of liquid calcium per month. Stick around, Jenny. We'll talk about your mom when we come back.
Okay.
Who's that sneaking around? It's gotta be Dr. Oz. Coming for you with misinformation galore. For goodness sake. Swallow the red pill, snap out of it. Let's see what Jenny from Texas has for question number 2. Jenny, are you still with me?
Yes, I'm still here.
All right. So what about your mom?
Yeah, okay. Of course, she's also diabetic, but like a couple of years now, she has this pain in her right arm, and she's taking all kind of pain medication, trazodone and all that, so it's not being relieved. And she also has problem with her eyes. So I'm asking, like, is there anything she can take for that? She had already had surgery for glaucoma, and the other eye, she just removed the cataract, and the eyes are still not getting better.
Yeah. So she's been using conventional medicine for a long time, and she's getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how about that? Doesn't that just make you feel really good about the type of medicine that's delivered here in the United States? I mean, this is supposed to be the best medical system in the world, but it's not.
Yes.
Because under the MD's care, people get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So much so that the leading cause of death now in the United States is MD-directed medical care. The leading cause of death, 780,000 people a year are killed because of MD therapeutics, and it's the leading cause of bankruptcy. And when will it end? Well, I don't know when it's going to end as a cultural conditioning thing, but it ends every day here on this radio show, one person at a time. To support and promote the structure and function of eye health, of the eyes, and to promote the health of the eyes, our recommendation is 1 anti-aging healthy start pack, 2 selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month, 1 anti-aging healthy start pack, and 2 bottles of selenium per 100 pounds of body weight per month, plus 1 bottle of the Ultimate Daily Capsules, 1 bottle of the Ultimate Daily Capsules a month. Now, if there's extra money, then Z-Radical is never a bad idea. Z-Radical. Get 4 bottles of... Yeah, Z-Radical. Z like zebra, Radical. It's a liquid superfruit with a sea vegetable in it that does wonderful things for the human body. There are over 2,000 published studies on the active ingredient in Z-Radical. It's called fucoidan. F like Frank, U, C like Charlie, O-I, D like David, A-N, fucoidan. It's a wonderful addition to anybody's baseline medical nutrition. Now, you know, it's a double-edged sword here, right? So number 1, we eliminate, we give the body the raw materials it needs. And number 2, we stop eating food that's hurting the body. So both you and your mother and all your sisters and all your brothers and everybody in the flippin' world needs to stop eating the 10 bad foods. So clean up your diet and get on board with these supplements. Take it a week at a time. The hallmark of a successful medical nutrition strategy is every couple of weeks you feel a little bit better somewhere. Mood, energy, appetite, bowel movement, sex drive, sleep, I don't care, blood pressure, blood sugars, whatever. You want to see slow and steady improvement. And you should certainly realize something remarkable in the first 4 weeks. That's what we lean on. That's what we look forward to. And once we've secured something positive, we just maintain the discipline until your body gets as good as it's going to get. Jenny, I have to move along. You're the greatest. Thanks for the call. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard me talk about the health opportunity. You've heard me talk about the wealth opportunity. You've heard me interview experts. And that's not a bad idea, isn't it? I mean, it would be silly for me to interview somebody about how to make themselves wealthy if they were on Skid Row, right? I mean, it would be more prudent for me to interview somebody who's successful, somebody who's made for themselves a name, for someone who's actually generated specific and measurable and noticeable results. Well, I'm very happy to reintroduce to the listening audience Ashley James from Seattle, who has risen to the ranks in longevity. Ashley and her husband Duffy are at the very upper level of ranking in longevity. They did it in a couple of years, and she's here to share with us a little bit of her wisdom about how she did it and what she's up to right now. Hey, Ashley, welcome back.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. It's a pleasure to be on your wonderful show again, and I'm, of course, here with my husband, Duffy.
Hey, Dr. G.
What's going on, Duffy? You guys are the greatest. So
well,
now
we think this world of you.
Well, maybe because we're standing on your shoulder.
As you should. Well, listen. So we've got a new thing going on here because we roll new stuff out all the time. Oh, by the way, if you're an insider, folks, if you were wise enough to become an insider during last year, well, guess what? We have upped the ante for the same amount of money. We didn't increase the fee to become an insider. We didn't tack any extra monthly charges on. We didn't do any bait and switch. But what we did was we gave you more for your money for exactly the same price. So now, if you are an insider, you have access to 5 hours of live webinars a week. 5 hours of live webinars a week. We went from 3 to 5. That's pretty good. Monday through Friday now we have live webinars. It's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings, and Tuesday and Thursday evenings. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning, Tuesday and Thursday evenings, and I misspoke. It's actually 6 hours now because every Friday evening, Duffy and Ashley are giving business training webinars. And how's that going, kids?
Oh, my gosh. The amount of feedback we've received already is absolutely amazing. It just really touches us to know that what we're doing is making a difference for those who are willing to plug themselves into this system. We have already heard from several team members who have been and doing the homework and doing, because this is interactive. You don't just sit there. You can't build a business while sitting on your couch and collecting dust. So, but, you know, we've learned from our mistakes, and we've become really good at sharing longevity and building this business. And so we want to give back and teach others how to do the same. Our webinars tend to be more like 90 minutes long because we do a really nice lecture, and then we just give time for Q&A. And so some incredible questions are coming up. And just from, for example, Shannon in California, a wonderful business builder who's been sharing longevity, screaming from the rooftops how incredible it is. But she was having problems building her business, and she asked the question, well, how do you help people get on AutoShip? And I explained to her how I help people get on AutoShip, and immediately she has signed up, I think, 3 people since it's been just over a week. She signed up 3 people, and she helped them get on AutoShip, and it's just we've got this from several other members of longevity who are building their business, who are struggling in the past to share longevity. They have shared with us that just in the last 5 weeks of doing all the activities we explained for them to do and for the homework we gave them, and the mental mind shift that comes into play when you're shifting your consciousness from being a 9-to-5 check collector to being an entrepreneur. When you can shift your mindset, and that's what we've helped people do, shift their mindset. They've seen incredible results in their business already. So if you want to make more money helping people get healthy, then you should definitely become an insider, and you should definitely attend our webinars, because our goal is that by you plugging yourself into this system, you will achieve the next rank in longevity. You'll be able to get your products for free. You'll be able to get your family's products for free. You'll be able to have some of your bills paid for. And within the next year, you'll see a significant increase in your income and make a serious dent in helping people gain their health. So, you know, we're looking for real results. And what I love about longevity is it's a results-oriented company. Longevity grows year after year. Word of mouth only, because we get results, and no company could grow with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Just like Nordstrom has the absolute best return policy in the world. I think it's like a year or something. You can return shoes you've worn for a year if you don't like them, get your money back from Nordstrom, and yet Nordstrom continues to be one of the strongest department store companies because they have service and quality. Well, longevity has the Nordstrom return policy of the supplement world, and we keep growing because we have service and we have quality, and we believe in results. So when Duffy and I go to train people and help people grow their business, we're doing it from a results standpoint. I want to see you see results, and so I'm going to teach you the real meat and potatoes to help you get results. But it all starts with your mindset, and that's why if you're new as an insider, or if you're just about to join Dr. Glidden's membership for only $20 a month, not only are you going to get incredible access to Dr. Glidden, but now you're going to get access to some really powerful business builders. I own that because we've been where you are. We started at the beginning, and we can teach you how to get to the top as well. And I want to see everyone who wants to be there at the top. There's plenty of room here at the top to be making a very healthy 6-figure income while helping your friends and family and your community get healthy. And so
there's a lot of,
why I love building this business and helping.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's awesome, Ashley. And there's a lot of things to kind of focus on here in what you just talked about. Number one, because longevity is a network marketing business, and because of the compensation plan that longevity has, how it works, ladies and gentlemen, is if you're in my organization, it's my job to have you make more money than me. It's my job to have you make more money than me, because if you make more money than me, then guess what? My paycheck's going to go up. Now, there's no other business in the world where it's your boss's job to make you more successful than he is. That just doesn't exist. But that's how it exists in longevity. The more money that you make, the more money that I make, and we all grow together. I mean, it's like one gigantic rising souffle. And it's awesome. It's awesome. And how do we do it? We help ourselves to become successful by helping other people become successful. And the better we are at that, the more successful everybody becomes. And oh my God, it's like, wow, this is genius. No kidding, it's genius. I don't know why they don't teach this method at Wharton and Harvard University. Or maybe they do, but
they do teach it in some universities. It is now in the University of Illinois accredited course and part of their business school.
Well, you got to love that. See that? Our message is starting to go mainstream. Now, the other thing about this is, and I just want to give a little personal anecdote here. For those of you that don't know, I am a golf addict. I love golf. And I'm a pretty good golfer, except I can't putt to save my mother's life. I can't do it. Well, until now. About 3 months ago, I was at a golf store. You know, I'm always looking for the new magic putter, right? And I was poking around with a putter, and a guy came over and said, you know, what's going on? And he was trying to sell me a putter, and I told him I can't putt to save my mother's life. And he said, really? Let me watch your stroke. And so he set me up, and he watched my stroke, and he kind of, you know, rubbed his chin, and he cocked his head a little bit, and he said, try this. He told me one simple thing that I wasn't aware that I was doing with my wrists. I wasn't aware that I was doing it. Had no idea. I changed it, and as soon as I made that one adjustments, I'm dropping 20-foot putts like falling off a log. You don't know what you don't know. You need to be trained. And once you get the secret, everything changes for the better. Stick around. We're finishing it up with Ashley and Duffy when we come back. I am Dr. Peter Glidden, and this is, you guessed it, Fire Your MD Now. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're finishing up today's program, Monday, January 20th, 2014, with Ashley and Duffy James, who are rolling out, I believe they've already done 2 or 3 online longevity training webinars, giving little tips, little pearls of wisdom to help anybody in longevity. You don't have to be in my downline. It can be in anybody's longevity organization, anybody, anywhere. You have to be an insider to get access to this information. You have to be an insider. But you can be cross-line to me. You can be upline for me. You can be anywhere in the company and make yourself a fortune, because there are 2 cultural memes, 2 cultural thought forms which we are raging against. Number 1, the ridiculous notion that healing is a complicated, sophisticated process. It is not. Healing is easy. Number 2, building yourself a fortune is really out of your grasp, and it's really only in the domain of the 1% of the people born with a silver spoon, of the Saudi princes and the Donald Trumps and the movie actors who were born into wealthy families like the Kennedys. Those people can generate fortunes, but not you or me. Nonsense, rubbish. Building a fortune is easy, but you have to dial in a method that works, and that's what Ashley and Duffy bring to the table. And how do I know? Because they've risen to the ranks of the company. They've actually done it, and they're showing you how they do it too, and that's a fantastic thing. Welcome back, Ash and Duff. Are you still with me?
Oh, of course. Yes, thank you.
All right, good. Yeah, so how many webinars have you rolled out so far?
5 webinars. It's about 7 hours in total, and then we've given homework. So you want to spread it out when you're doing our training, where you take in the homework and you do it and you implement it for a few days, and then you move on to the next webinar. Each one builds on the last, and so it's a progressive training. So you want to start at the beginning. The first thing is shifting your mindset, and before you say, oh, that personal growth stuff, that sounds like a bunch of airy-fairy. Well, I got to tell you that when we shifted our consciousness, when we shifted our mindset from that of I can't make money, money is hard to make, to building this business is easy, then everything fell into place. You have to start with the mindset of success. And that's the first thing we teach is shift your mindset, because if you don't believe that you can achieve something, then you're not even going to step out the door with your DVDs ready to lend them out, because you just don't even believe you can help someone. But when you have a belief system, and so our job is in this training is to help you develop your belief system that you can build this business easily and you can help people. And then as you come across barriers, as you come across your obstacles, I want you to bring them to this training, because like I said, it's an interactive training. So we do a Q&A at the end of each segment where you bring your business building questions and your obstacles you've had that week, and we're going to help you improve upon it so you can take our training, our coaching, and develop your business for the next month or for the next week. And so we've already seen incredible results. People who have had really a hard time building this business, like you just needed a little bit of coaching around your around putting. We've been able to help people tweak their business so that their daily activities shifted and their mindset shifted and their results shifted in a big way.
Yeah, results shifting in a big way is a huge thing. I mean, I was wasting 18 putts a game, and I don't know if you're a golfer, folks, but that's a big deal. I mean, I'd get to the green and I'd be all downcast because I knew I was going to miss the putt. Not anymore. One simple tweak, one simple pearl of wisdom made all the difference. Let's dial it in for you, too. Nothing argues better than results. We get results, and it's cross-line all the way, baby. It doesn't matter whose organization you are in longevity. Let us show you the simple system. Hold your hand every step of the way until you become an expert. Ashley and Duffy, wish we had more time, but we're out. Keep up the great work, folks, and we'll look forward to your next training this Friday night. Ladies and gentlemen, you've done it again. You've wasted a good 2 hours with me. God willing and the creek don't rise, we're back at it tomorrow. Until then, remember, live long and prosper.